Hello and welcome to Chabot News for March 2nd. I'm Jacob Alcazar. In today's news, police officers in Southern California were in pursuit of a runway unicorn. Esme will tell us more about Leonardo DiCaprio's long-awaited Oscar, and Victor will bring us the latest on the Golden State Warriors' incredible game this past weekend. All that and more on Chabot College News. Dr. Ben Carson does not have a plan to win the nomination, nor does he have a plan to drop out after what's likely to be a poor Super Tuesday showing. As Donald Trump soars and Senator Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz duke it out for second place, Governor John Kasich and Carson are both lagging in 5th and 6th, respectively. But while Kasich is already making a strong showing in Vermont and vows to win in his home state of Ohio in March 15th, a key swing state and winner-takes-all primary. As a result, it seems Carson has no clear plan to win at all. Well, we clearly don't know, campaign chairman Bob Dees told the Washington Examiner. But we think the opportunity exists for people to wake up, and that's what we're hoping for. Hit the road, Christie. That's the message for 6 New Jersey newspapers last Tuesday say government Christie has no standing in the state following his endorsement last week of Donald Trump for the GOP presidential nomination. The newspapers demand that he steps down a day after New Hampshire's most influential newspaper said, "Boy, were we wrong," for endorsing Christie in November ahead of state's primary. Authorities in Durango, Mexico say 8 adults and 2 children were killed when a bus was carrying a group of evangelical Christians. The bus went off a mountain road and crashed down about 150 feet into a ravine. All but 3 of the other 29 people on board suffered injuries. A witness said the vehicle was zigzagging in a strange way before it went off the mountain road. Emergency crews spent nearly 7 hours freeing passengers who were trapped in the wreckage. About 20 ambulances responded to the emergency call and transported the injured to hospitals in the nearby area. Now, for the latest around the Hayward area, we have a live remote coming from AJ in front of a local elementary school.
Hi, Jacob. Actor Tim Robbins, most noted for his role in The Shawshank Redemption, made a visit to Burbanks Elementary School this past Friday, February 26th. Burbanks Elementary is one of the 49 schools in the nation involved in the Turnaround Arts program, which helps provide resources to low-performing schools. Tim Robbins is one of the mentors in the program, advising students on confidence and the arts. That's what happens in arts education. It turns kids who are shy, reserved, and those even hated to stand in front of the class to say their name into someone who is confident. It gives them confidence and gives them a voice. Underperforming schools, which involvement of the Turns Around Arts program, Burbanks in the climbing of being one of the highest performing schools in the Hayward district. Now back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, AJ. San Francisco supervisors voted anonymously Tuesday to boost the legal age to buy tobacco products from 18 to 21, despite arguments from opponents that cities and counties cannot trump California law. San Francisco joins Boston, New York City, and Hawaii in raising the minimum age to buy cigarettes and other tobacco products. This is a big win in the fight against the leading cause of preventable deaths in our country. Supervisor Scott Weiner said in a statement, "The issue has gained traction nationally as lawmakers try to discourage young people from starting to smoke, especially popular e-cigarettes." A report last year by the Institute of Medicine found that 90% of daily smokers first tried a cigarette before 19. San Francisco's city attorney called the proposed ordinance legally sound. It goes into effect June 1st. Now let's go to Esme for the latest on entertainment.
Thanks, Jacob. Recently, WWE superstar John Cena drove the pace car at the 58th annual Daytona 500 in Daytona Beach, Florida. Cena drove the car, which sets the pace for the 40-car racing event. When asked what's more nerve-wracking, wrestling in front of over 76,000 people at WrestleMania or driving the pace car, the 15-time world heavyweight champion had this to say: "Easily Daytona, because I know the honor and tradition of what's at stake." Leonardo DiCaprio Well, it finally happened. Actor Leonardo DiCaprio won the Oscar at the 88th Annual Academy Awards that took place this past Sunday. After being nominated 5 previous times, the sixth time was a charm. DiCaprio won the award on his performance in the film, The Revenant. During his acceptance speech, DiCaprio had this to say: "I am so grateful to the Academy for the recognition of this film. Making this film was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life." Well, that's all we have for entertainment today. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Esme. Canadian resident Don Yang is on a 2-year probation for trying to smuggle 38 turtles in his pants. Yang was caught in 2014 in the United States during an inspection on his return to Canada, according to the Environment and Climate Change Canada. The turtles were contained in plastic bags and taped to Mr. Yang's legs. On top of his 2-year probation, Yang has been banned from owning turtles for the next 10 years, along with paying a $2,600 fine. Yang faces 50 hours of community service, must notify the environmental department when he travels, and publicly write a letter about his experience. Moving on to sports, here's our very own Victor with the latest scoops on hoops.
Thanks, Jacob. Warriors guard Stephen Curry continued his streak of breaking NBA records during his team's matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder last Saturday. After breaking Kyle Korver's record for most consecutive games with a three-pointer, Curry achieved 2 more goals. First, he broke his own record of 286 most threes in a season, amassing to a total of 288 three-pointers so far. He then tied the NBA record for most threes in a single game, tying Kobe Bryant and Donnell Marshall for 12 three-pointers. The reigning most valuable player finished the game with 46 points and won the game for the Warriors with a clutch long-distance shot to seal the victory. With Curry's stellar offensive performance, the Warriors won that game in overtime with the score of 121-118. This past Saturday, Anderson Silva made his return to the octagon after a 1-year suspension for drug use. The Spider fought against middleweight contender Michael Bisping. The final result was not what he had expected. The fight took place in London's O2 Arena, and the crowd was rowdy throughout the entire 5-round bout. From start to finish, Silva and Bisping went back and forth, with the hometown hero ended up being with a big victory. The fight resulted in Bisping's winning by a unanimous decision, with all 3 judges scoring the contest 48-47. Paying respect to one of MMA's most legendary fighters, Bisping said after the fight, "I've always wanted this my entire life. I worship this guy. He's the greatest martial artist of all time. That's why I'm so emotional. This has been a lifelong quest. I have respect for Silva. It inspired me." So that wraps up our sports news week this week. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Victor. Who knew that a fairy tale would be part of Cops when a unicorn makes a break for it? Last Wednesday night, Juliet, the fake unicorn, was posing with kids in a photo shoot at Madera Ranchos near Fresno. It turns out Juliet, the unicorn, had different plans. While owners were busy taking pictures, Juliet tried escaping not once, but twice. The first time, Juliet was caught by the handler with no problem, but for the second time, well, that's a different tale. Juliet made a dash for the streets of Madera Ranchos, which led the cops to get involved after multiple calls reporting a runaway unicorn. California Highway Patrol spent hours trying to find the runaway pony. The search became so desperate that local police had to use a helicopter and thermal imaging to locate the unicorn. In the end, Juliet was later found at an orchard and was returned to its peaceful stable with its unicorn horn still intact. That's it for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and in the staff mass communications department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/Chabot TV. Stay tuned to KCTH 27 on Comcast for Chabot TV.